Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel at NDN TV Nigeria. Click on the subscribe button and be the first to get notifications.
Professor of Economic History at the University of Port Harcourt, Ben Nanen, has blamed the persistence of crude oil theft in the Niger Delta on wrong approaches adopted by the federal government to halt the trend. At a workshop on the interim report of a recent study focusing on combating oil theft in Nigeria, Professor Nanen advocated new ways of tackling the menace of crude oil theft, which has dealt a heavy blow to the Nigerian economy in recent years.
Nigeria's oil-driven economy is faced with the worst crisis ever witnessed throughout the country's entire history. This is as a result of many years of oil theft, which has assumed alarming proportions in the last 2 years. According to the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC), the country lost a whopping $4 billion to oil theft between January and December 2021, as well as additional $1.5 billion in the first quarter of 2022. This leaves the bulk of crude oil, otherwise known as the black gold, appropriated by a syndicate of oil thieves. Deeply worried by the heavy blow that has been dealt to the Nigerian economy by oil thieves, President Muhammadu Buhari in the month of March this year directed Minister of State for Petroleum Resources Chief Timipri Silva, Group Managing Director of the NNPC Malam Mele Kyari, and Chief of Defense Staff General Lucky Irabo to flush out oil thieves operating in the Niger Delta. At a recent workshop attended by representatives of the academia, civil society organizations, international oil companies and local companies in Port Harcourt, Professor of Economic History at the University of Port Harcourt, Ben Nanen, maintained that the federal government was merely chasing shadows in its attempt to halt oil theft in the Niger Delta. In a presentation entitled Rethinking Oil Theft in Nigeria, Professor Nanen emphasized the need for a new paradigm in the fight against oil theft that would consider the compelling need to legalize illegal oil bunkering, which military deployments have failed to stop over the years.
Take, for example, the issue of crude that they refine. Is there no way that you can make them to pay for the crude? You're right, now that crude is not free for the artisanal refiners. They buy the crude from the point owners. Right now, you know there is a lot of divestment by the oil companies, and one of the reasons they are giving is oil theft.
In his presentation, Professor Nanen observed that oil theft was not peculiar to Nigeria, as other oil-producing countries in Europe, Latin America and Africa had been faced with a similar challenge in the recent past. The economic historian said oil theft appears difficult to control in Nigeria due to lack of political will to stop the oil thieves.
When the present president came to power, the present president of Mexico, it was a campaign issue and it descended heavily. And within 6 months, or even less, oil theft in Mexico declined by 93%. We need that kind of decision in this country.
In a preliminary report of a recent study carried out by Professor Nanen and his colleagues, it was observed that 70% of stolen crude was exported to refineries in Europe and other parts of the world, while 30% was sold to artisanal crude oil refiners. Chairman of Emoha local government area in Rivers State, Dr. Chidi Lloyd, and National Coordinator of the Coalition Against Oil Spills and Gas Flaring in the Niger Delta, Reverend Father Edward Obi, also blamed the persistence of oil theft in Nigeria on the complicity of the military.
People come here with no rank. They are buying cars in December. So everybody, they pay lots of money to be posted to Rivers State, where they think anything goes. But thank God we have a governor here who is truly a leader and leading from the front.
It is not ghosts, it is not spirits or anything like that who are coming and doing this. It is people who are well known.
According to the Central Bank of Nigeria, Nigeria lost about $3.5 billion to oil theft in the year 2021. In the same vein, the country reportedly spent 2.52 trillion naira on petrol imports between January and September 2021, a figure which represents 55.6% increase from the 1.62 trillion naira appropriated within the same period in 2020. The unprecedented revenue losses occasioned by massive oil theft, as well as the inappropriate implementation of fiscal policies in the petroleum sector, has left the Nigerian economy in dire straits. As at December 2021, the Debt Management Office reported that Nigeria's total public debt profile had risen to 39.55 trillion naira from 32.9 trillion naira in 2020. In January this year, the federal government disclosed that it spent 4.2 trillion naira on debt servicing between January and November 2021. The sum, which represents 76.2% of the 5.5 trillion naira revenue generated at the time, shows an abysmal debt-to-revenue ratio which finance experts describe as economically unsustainable. With unrestrained oil theft in the Niger Delta, a great danger lies on the horizon. Right now, the Bonny terminal, which was producing about 239,000 barrels of crude oil per day, has stopped producing as a result of non-stop oil theft. Also shut down as a result of massive oil theft are the Nimbe Creek trunk line and the Trans-Niger pipeline. As helpless as the situation appears, notwithstanding, an available remedy lies in the ability and commitment of the federal government to stop oil theft in the Niger Delta and salvage the Nigerian economy.
Inside the Niger Delta,